rare and gripping inside look at one of the riskiest and most emotionally fraught surgical procedures imaginable, separating conjoined twins. 10-month-old babies in Texas whose parents have made the anguishing decision to give the surgeons the green light. And we are right there with them every step of the way. Here's my Nightline co-anchor, Juju Chang.
Knatalye and Adeline Mata share an intimacy most twins will never know, living face to face, sharing every breath as conjoined twins for 10 months. But in just a few hours, they'll undergo a very risky and complicated surgery to separate them.
Separating conjoined twins is a very complicated task.
I want to give them a shot at a normal life.
I tried to tell her several times, I said, look, we could lose them both. Now we're here. We gotta let them fight.
But their fight really began the day they were born. Conjoined from their rib cage down to their pelvises, they exceed all medical expectations and survive the first few days after their birth.
Our little miracle girls, it was the best thing ever, just to see them alive.
And so their parents, Elise and Eric Mata, give them meaningful middle names, Hope and Faith.
They weren't fully developed, so they had a lot of challenges, so I was very cautious, but they were doing well.
Giving Dr. Cass and his team at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston hope that they could separate the girls. They would remain here in the neonatal intensive care unit until strong enough for the risky surgery, bolstered by constant visits from their parents and their older brother. Over the months before surgery, doctors puzzled a way to separate them safely using advanced imaging technology and 3D modeling to unravel the twins' complicated anatomy.
We were able to determine that there was a lot of stuff connected, and that included their rib cage, their sternum, their pericardial sacs that surround our heart. When the heart sacs are connected, most of the time they're not separatable or they're not survivable.
There were risks and there were real risks, and I think in this case the benefits definitely outweighed the risks.
When you think about the potential risks, what goes through your mind?
Sadness. I just don't want to lose them. And I know there's that risk, but if I dwell on that, I'm missing out on what could possibly, come out positive in the end.
After 10 months, it's finally the morning of the surgery.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Let's take good care of them, okay?
To turn over your child to a team of doctors and nurses, to perform a surgery of this magnitude and trust that they will get your children through. That for me has always humbled me.
I was very excited. It's a little bit like sports, game day, the go time.
Pulling off such a hefty surgery requires a team of 26, all led by Dr. Cass and Dr. Olutoye. The plan? To first separate the organs of the chest and then move down to the abdomen and finish with the pelvis.
We started at the top and we began to work downward.
The heart surgeon starts to cut open the heart sac.
I really don't want updates. I'm gonna call me when it's done, because it's kind of like you never know what they're gonna say.
Just trying to stay calm. Does anybody want an orange? No?
Everybody hopes for the best, but it's also important to really know that there are potential hazards and risks involved.
Everything is going very well. We got to the pericardium and we were beginning to separate the two heart sacs.
Got the chest open and I think they're starting to work on the liver now.
Oh, okay, so they've already separated the pericardial sac?
I don't know the exact details.
In the OR, things are much more complicated than the surgeons had hoped. They realized that in order to fully separate the hearts, the liver and diaphragm must first be divided up.
Half the rib cage was open. The sacs of their heart was partly open. We did start separating the diaphragm and separating the liver, and then something happened.
Yeah, the heart's not empty and flat. That heart was
Adeline started to get sick.
She was showing signs that she was unstable and her blood pressure was not staying up.
It's 4:45 p.m. The Mata family is summoned to the surgical wing to meet with a doctor.
There's a fair amount of bleeding with dividing the liver. During that bleeding process, Adeline's heart wasn't pumping very well.
Her heart rate had gotten so low, we needed to start compressing her heart. And so I took her heart in my hands. You get to squeeze enough to be able to empty the heart and feel it empty and relax, to let it fill with blood and then squeeze it back again. And being able to do it consistently and control your own emotion as you're doing it so you're not too aggressive in the process and squeezing too hard.
If I say minor hiccup, I'm downplaying it.
Yeah.
It was a significant event with blood loss.
I really can't tell how long I was doing that for. You know, it's one of those things you're right in the moment and you're really not thinking about time. As Addie's heart returned, I could actually feel the heart starting to beat under my hands.
Having to compress Adeline's heart for a few minutes and then immediately recover, but it's more than we wanted to have as far as, but
I tried to tell her, several times. I said, look, we could lose them both. We could lose one. You just got to be ready. If that's God's will, that's His will. You never could be ready for that, but we were as ready as we could ever be.
And we'll just press on, but it is going to be a long night for you guys. So you guys need to kind of take care of yourselves.
I'll try.
I know, easier said than done.
Yeah.
It's a long night for the surgeons, too. Then, shortly after 11 o'clock, the surgical team is about to make history.
This was the time everyone had waited for this final moment when the girls were separated. Even those that were taking a nap or not on their shifts at that time, we said, well, go get everybody up. You don't want to miss this time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, separate.
And then I made the last incision in the skin to put the twins on separate beds.
2 humans, 2 babies.
Truly separate for the first time ever.
3rd floor.
We're gonna walk fast.
How you all doing? Well, so far so good. The babies are separate, so we have a separate. Like 23, 12.
We now have
Natalie and Adeline.
I told you.
Each baby has everything she needs. All the pieces are there.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank God. Also got a lot of work to do. We'll keep working.
There's no sleeping when you're in surgery.
Sleep is overrated.
The surgeons now have to rebuild the tiny bodies.
And we probably won't get it this close.
Finally, after 26 torturous hours of waiting, it's time for Eric and Elise to see their daughters as 2 separate people for the first time.
Oh, look, their smiles. What are you guys doing?
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, she looks so much like Azariah.
It was breathtaking. I was just in awe at what just took place.
I would have to say that it's pretty exciting.
When I first saw Addie after surgery, it was a little scary.
Possibly because her heart was just a little more compromised. She's just had a little tougher time. But I'm very optimistic about the future.
What do you hope for them, Dad?
Let's keep it simple for now, and then later on we can reach for the stars, But now let's just reach the normal milestones.
Bye.
2 months after separation, they reached one of those milestones, the twins' first birthday.
It's been a year. It went by so fast.
Over the next few months, more milestones. Knatalye and then Adeline are released from the hospital.
Who's going home today? You ready to run out? Are you outside?
And then finally, the girls get to go home to Littlefield, Texas for the first time ever.
I feel really good. It's been a long year.
They now have a chance to live their lives separately, but always together. For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Houston, Texas.
And you can see much more of the Mata twins' remarkable journey in the 1-hour special Conjoined Twins Miracle Separation, airing Thursday on the Discovery Life channel.